WXII 12 News. This is special coverage of the coronavirus impact.
We have made great strides, but there's more to do. That is Governor Roy Cooper's message to the state as we prepare to head into the third week of a statewide stay-at-home order. He's thanking people for following the order and social distancing, but the governor says testing, tracing, and trends are key when deciding when to ease restrictions. The governor and his team are keeping a close eye on daily case numbers. Today, it's up to nearly 6,000. The governor says he wants to see the trend start heading down. The blue line shows the trend so far in the Piedmont Triad. Nearly 600 people have tested positive in our area. With another week and a half left in the statewide stay-at-home order, Governor Cooper says he knows people are getting restless, but he says it would be dangerous to ease the restrictions too soon. Today he explained how he and his staff are going to make that decision.
I understand that people are anxious to know which orders may be eased first and when that's going to happen. There's no perfect sequence or timing, but there is health guidance, business guidance, and common sense. We will put these together with each of our three areas, testing, tracing, and trends, to make those decisions and get more people back to work.
Well, the governor says the staff is looking at reopening the state by region. He says it would be difficult to do it county by county since many people live in one county but work in another. Well, there's a big emphasis on testing. To help expand it, the state is partnering with 3 medical universities, UNC Chapel Hill, Duke University, and East Carolina. Researchers are going to focus on how widespread cases with mild or no symptoms are in the state. There's also a new testing surge work group, which includes 2 people from the Piedmont Triad. Tracy Butler, a senior vice president with Burlington-based LabCorp, and Stacy Sonsers, the Alamance County Public Health Director, are both going to help develop a plan to increase testing and expand sites. Governor Cooper says the state still needs assistance from the federal government with testing supplies and personal protection equipment. He says Washington has provided some equipment, but it's not enough. Our governor is one of many asking for federal help. Sally Kids in Washington with more details.
The president is stepping up the pressure on some states to lift their stay-at-home orders. As public health experts warn, it would be a mistake to open up too soon. President Trump on Twitter calling on several Democratic governors to lift restrictions, even as states struggle with coronavirus testing, a crucial first step to reopening. The president urging supporters to liberate Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia.
I, along with this staff, is fighting a biological war. I do not have time to involve myself in Twitter wars.
President Trump also blasting New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, telling him to spend less time complaining.
I don't know, what am I supposed to do, send a bouquet of flowers?
Cuomo again calling for federal help on testing as states compete for scarce supplies of testing agents, which are made in China.
I'm willing to do what I can do and more, but I'm telling you, I don't do China relations. I don't do international supply chain.
The spat playing out one day after the president announced a 3-step phased-in process for relaxing restrictions.
I have formed a statewide strike force to open Texas
In areas with lower case counts and adequate supplies.
We will obviously use that as kind of a baseline. It doesn't mean that Florida's going to go every single thing they say or not say.
While the president's critics argue
he is acting in an utterly reckless, dangerous manner, and it is going to give political cover to governors who want to race to reopen their states.
So the bottom line here is this is really a balancing act for the states as governors try to determine their timeline for reopening, yet try to figure out how to expand testing. In Washington, I'm Sally Kidd.
Well, 2 lawmakers from North Carolina are on the president's task force looking at how to reopen the economy. Senator Thom Tillis and Congressman Patrick McHenry are going to weigh in on how and when the country should open back up. McHenry represents the 10th district, which covers an area west of Charlotte. Triad business owners hoping for federal assistance to keep the payroll going are now scrambling to figure out how to help their employees. Many of them applied for the Paycheck Protection Program, but the fund had its limit before many people got any money. Travis Bean owns Clemens Bicycle. He applied for relief to avoid layoffs. He says without the money, he might eventually have to shut down.
It's definitely a concern. I mean, it's not something that I need currently, but we don't know what we might need next week or the week after.
Bean says the good news for now is that his sales are actually up, with more people looking to get outside. People in North Carolina are still struggling to file for unemployment. The State Division of Unemployment hopes that tripling the number of staff will help get more people through. The plan is to have 1,600 people working on the problem by the end of next week. The state already hired additional workers and added a third call center. The division says 636,000 people have filed for unemployment since March 16th. The additional workers will make up the largest number of people working to provide unemployment benefits in state history, according to the governor. Well, the effects of high unemployment have trickled down to food banks. People are waiting in long lines to get help feeding their families. Feed America estimates more than 17 million Americans will become food insecure because of school closures, rising unemployment, and missed pay because of stay-at-home orders. Food banks across the nation are working to keep up with the demand, but the supply chain is tightening because more people are buying non-perishable food for their own homes. The executive vice president of Feeding America says people are donating cold and frozen items, and some food banks are running into storage issues. But despite these new challenges, most food banks are open and ready to serve. The Second Harvest Food Bank is hosting a virtual food drive. You guys helped us raise more than $115,000 for the food bank earlier this week, but you can still donate. You can find a link on WXI12.com/secondharvest. $5 will provide a backpack of food for a child, and $15 is enough for a family food box. The food bank says it's thankful for continued support from people in the Piedmont Triad. We know some of you watching right now are really anxious about having enough to eat. Local groups and food banks are ready to help, and we want to make sure it's easy for you to find them. Right now on WXI12.com, there's an article called Useful Resources. When you click on that, just scroll down to where it says Food Resources, and that will give you a list of groups providing meals and details on when and where school systems are serving food for students. Well, tonight in 12 Inspires, a group with a mission to provide masks for healthcare providers just hit a major milestone. In just 1 month's time, Project Mask Winston-Salem has distributed 25,000 masks. This all started with 3 friends, but when they created a Facebook group, things really took off. Now more than 2,000 volunteers are helping to make these masks.
We know we can physically see, as we hand over the masks, the people that we're actually helping. And so that's why we haven't stopped. And that's why we continue to do what we're doing, because there's so many people.
My 7-year-old told me one day, "Mom, this mask project got a lot bigger than I was expecting." I was like, yes, I know, me too. So no, I mean, we thought we'd make it maybe 1,000 tops, and then here we are, we're getting close to 30,000.
That is amazing. The volunteers say they're going to keep working as long as there's a need. Well, that's not the only way people in the Triad are caring for one another right now. Our Kenny Beck joins us live with a story of a woman in Davie County whose idea is helping 2 important groups. Kenny?
Brianna, good evening to you. This is great stuff. Marie Helms is her name. She's from Advance. She was sitting at her home last month, feeling kind of down, feeling kind of isolated, the way many of us are feeling right now, very much wanting to help. So she came up with an idea. She reached out to some of her friends and posted it on Facebook. The basic concept was, wouldn't it be great if we could provide warm meals for essential workers right now and have local restaurants that are struggling because their dining rooms are closed do the catering for all this? The idea has since taken off. In the 3 weeks since this launched, they have raised $2,500 and fed 400 plus people. Look at these pictures. This is great stuff. It means so much to these doctors and nurses in the greater Davie County community. And now they're expanding their efforts. They've done ERs, primary care offices, fire and EMS, local pharmacies, even the post office. She says it makes her feel like the isolation isn't so bad, and all of this motivates her to keep going.
I would do it until we ran out of money. Absolutely. It's so easy to call an emergency room or a doctor's office and say, "Hey, can we drop off lunch to you next week?" And why not? They're never going to say no from what I've seen. And the restaurants are absolutely more than willing to do this, and they're grateful for it. So if this is a one way that we can help support in this time of isolation, let's do it. There's ERs all over the state, right? I mean, we can do this anywhere.
She makes a pretty good point. Now, this started in the Oak Valley neighborhood in Advance. My dog Ripken's excited about this story. As you can hear, it has since expanded. This week alone, they made a donation in Kernersville, and they're always looking for more volunteers. If you're interested in this, if you'd like to get involved, head to our website, WXII12.com. We have a link to her email address right there.